Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the Sbtv Nation.
Sbtv Nation, it's your boys in the house, the triple threat. You got the Dream, you got the Mad Hatter, and you got Dr. Dan. It is Sunday. It is time for the NFL, and that beat in the background got me ready to smack somebody. What's up, y'all?
No doubt, man. How's your bank account feeling after college football yesterday, Dream?
Oh, college football yesterday, salty, salty, salty. And gang, I'm finding out, man, you just cannot base, I know we're looking at games and looking at performances week to week. It's very hard to gauge a college game based on how they look the week before.
Looking at you, South Carolina. Looking right at you.
And without further ado, the evil genius, Dr. Dan. What's up, buddy?
What is up? Hey, by the way, do you guys remember the team that was my favorite coming into this year? Everybody laughed at me. I picked them to go to the playoffs. I picked them to win the championship in college football.
I do not recall.
It was Oklahoma State.
You know what? That was I mean, they look really good, man. Offensively,
All right,
they're
let's
just
Let's
sick.
slow down. It's a
Well,
long
I picked the
season.
quarterback to win the Heisman.
Yeah.
It's a
and I-
long season ahead.
Oh,
Yes.
It's a long season. I'm just saying, when you look at, when I look at Alabama right now,
Yep.
I'm not that impressed.
You're
Defensive.
never impressed with
No, you're
Alabama.
never-
I mean,
you're never
Alabama's
impressed.
never impressive.
No, not at all.
That quarterback is going to lose them a game. I understand he's got the legs, and that'll carry you through most of the college season. They're going to get stung.
Yeah.
I don't know. They play the way they play.
What's the odds that they don't make up the playoff? What's the odds?
It's especially with them 2-0 now. It's probably not to make the playoffs is probably a
playoffs.
yeah. It's
I'd love to see what that is.
yeah. Well, you know
I
what?
don't know why, because they're gonna make it.
Yeah, right. They could still they could lose one game and still get in. I think as long
Yeah,
as the game is
definitely.
as long as the game is not towards the tail end of the year, you know. That's usually how it is for Nick Saban and the boys. So good morning to everybody. We are the SBTV Nation. We are live on all the social media outlets. Your boy is tore up today because I had a night of partying last night, so bear with me. I'm doing the best I can today, so I'm pretty excited to be on with my boys. And my son has no football today, high school-wise. So today is just, after this, I'm going home and doing nothing today. That's it. And one more thing, too, guys. We are doing our fantasy football contest. We just put it out there. We're doubling it up this time. We started with 10 last week. We're now at 20 entrants, $10 to get in. Top 3 get paid. Not a good week for me last week, Dan.
Hey, I did not have a good week in our league either because I just decided I'm going to go with a different lineup that I did in almost all my other leagues. But hey, one lineup this week, one losing lineup. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So, Dream, I'm
Week one, right,
I'm looking forward to get. Yeah, it is week 1. It was like throwing darts against the wall. So, you know what, Dream, I'm looking forward to getting you on this week.
Yeah, I'm getting in there this week. I noticed that last week with all that talk, it became crickets for much of the day on Sunday that I didn't hear from you, so I knew that it had to be abysmal. Only to check and find out that you came in 9.
Oh my God, Dream! One thing I do got to give you props for, man. When you sent me that girl on the runway on Twitter, oh my gosh, she is bad.
Yep.
Wow. So,
Yep.
Dream, guys, listen, we go on Twitter, we go on all the social media outlets, but Twitter the most. The three of us go and our dialogue gets shared with everybody that follows us. And you know what? we laugh, we joke, we have a bunch of stuff. But the Dream sent me this one woman walking a runway shoe. And Dream, I'm not a big blonde fan.
Yeah. Right.
She was sick.
sick. It
Oh,
was
God.
absolutely phenomenal.
Hat ain't a big blonde fan unless one's right in front of him.
Yeah. Well, that one in front of. Oh my God, that one was stupid. And I hope my bride isn't listening right now.
Well, you know what, guys? Speaking of jealousy, shout out to T-Mac, who is going to the Sunday Night Football game tonight, which, damn, that is going to be a live atmosphere, which we'll talk about. But, whoo, I wish I could be there.
All right. Before we get into pro football, we could talk a little collegiate football and a little bit of the fight. Dream, what was your thoughts of Canelo and Triple G last night?
I thought that Canelo possibly had done enough to get the nod, but I did not have a problem with the draw. I'm interested in hearing Urban's take on that. Urban, if you're out there listening, tweet me out your take on the Canelo fight last night. I thought it was scrapping.
Yep.
All right, they definitely was a scrappy fight. Those dudes definitely engaged. Was not no running around, and were not afraid. So I thought it was a very good fight. Viewer standpoint. What were your thoughts? Did you catch it, Dan? Did you catch it, Rob?
Dan?
Pat, you want to talk?
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know. I mean, I really thought Canelo took the fight. I did too. Now it's coming out there is some controversy here. And look, I know every time we talk about boxing, I feel like we're talking about controversy, right? But for those of you who don't know, there is a rematch clause in these contracts, right? Perfect. So, like, this basically is triggering an auto rematch, which, if you didn't know, people that sanction these fights get a percentage of the purse. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm a little salty because, hey, I had Canelo to win, but I really did. Like, this isn't just me being salty. I really thought that he won that fight, like. And I just didn't see the draw, but that's my opinion.
Well, you know what? They're going to make some big money on the rematch.
You know what? I mean, 1/10 of Mayweather. What they said the purse for that was going to end up being 15-20 mil, which is big money for those guys, big money for anybody else. I'm just saying, like, the step down. I mean, this is probably. This is a better fight. I don't know, man. I just you think the rematch will probably do about the same?
Yeah.
I guess. But the thing is, I think people like hatred. These guys don't hate each other, They're kind of friendly.
Yeah, they're cool.
So,
cool. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, we're live right now and looking forward to the NFL. But before we do that, we just want to touch on college football real quick. One bright spot of my day yesterday was Memphis. And it was such a stomach ache, that game. Oh, my God. It was up and down. Well, Memphis is up 10. Then all of a sudden they're down 4. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
UCLA, too.
Oh, you did?
We were stomaching the other side. Hey, I got to say, Hat, good call there. Like, I know a couple people on Memphis, but did Rosen just lose a bunch of draft spots?
Probably.
Like, he's throwing the ball. He threw the ball to that Memphis team. Like, and look, I understand he put up 45 points. He should have scored 60 on them.
Well, you know what? I took Memphis and I won on that, but then I gave it back with Louisville. So
you and me both, baby.
Yeah, I ended up doing the home.
DeVille's defense. That just like no explanation for that right there. The defense was just dreadful. And my thing is, you watch Clemson the week before look putrid in their performance the week before. Then they come out with DeVille and they gassed it up. And I thought DeVille might have had a chance going in at the half, regroup, make some adjustments, come back out. But man,
we know that their defense is garbage, though. Look, I understand that Clemson's got a really good D.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But come on, if you're the Heisman,
yeah,
right? Like, can you do something? I mean, he looked. I mean, I don't know. Pressured. Look, the offensive line was bad. The receivers dropping balls left and right too. It almost looked like, at some point in that game that the quarterback just kind of lost faith that his receivers were going to make any plays. I mean, that was brutal.
Yeah, tough. So, Dream, what else as far as the collegiate slate do you have up your sleeve to talk about?
We didn't talk about the Florida game. I'm a Florida Gator fan. That was a great win. Gator fans out there, stand up.
No doubt.
Gators looked good yesterday. They had that Hail Mary at the end of the game to win the game, which was absolutely a beautiful play. Tennessee didn't show up defensively at the end of the game, but other than that, it was a hard-fought defensive game. The game wasn't really exciting. Another game that was a lot of excitement was the USC-Texas game, and Texas came to play, which I was surprised. I thought Texas might get overpowered in this spot, but they traveled well and played this game kind of tough. USC ended up pulling out the game in double overtime, but it still was a really good game.
No doubt. So,
and guys, I don't know if you're watching, but I think we need to keep our eyes on the Nittany Lions, because Penn State has been doing what they're supposed to do and really murdering the teams that they're supposed to murder.
Well,
and I really like what I'm seeing out of them.
Penn State for sure, but I also think a team flying way under the radar is this Mississippi State team too. And it's funny to see them fly under the radar. It's probably because they're in the same division as Alabama, right, and Auburn. But that team looks pretty freaking good.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. So, and obviously, the rest of the teams got, handled their business out there. So, a lot of the,
Mississippi, you guys think Mississippi State might have one of the best defenses in the league, though?
I gotta see more out of them. I gotta see more.
28 points against in 3 games.
That Mississippi State team, you know what it is? You just, they get that game against Bama, or they get that one. It's like you have faith in them. You think they're going to go all the way, or you think they look good, or this is their season. And then they get that slide 2 games like in the middle of their season. Yeah. So
you think LSU was overrated, or just that Mississippi State will just inevitably screw up somewhere?
No, I think LSU was overrated, and I think 2, Mississippi State is going to screw up. Yeah, I think both of that actually.
Right. I mean, they got tests, at Georgia and at Auburn the next 2 weeks. So.
And I got to talk about. We also need to talk about. I like what I see out of Washington.
Yep.
Yeah.
Browning's been good, man. He's been really good. Good game yesterday. Beat Fresno State down.
Yeah.
This Washington team, they could be a problem. I get you, Hat. I know what you're saying. They're out there. The talent the competition that they play is maybe not of the SEC, but I think we just got to keep an eye on them still.
Here's the thing, though. I think Washington is supremely tested next week.
Okay.
Going on the road to a very live Colorado team. I think that's going to be a very good game. So, we'll see.
And there's a tale of 2 sides here. A couple of surprises. I don't know so much if the losing team is a surprise, but Duke is now 3-0, beat 0-3 Baylor. And I don't know how I missed this game, because I would have loved to have taken Duke, and I just overlooked it. I can't believe I did that.
I didn't even see it either.
I don't know how that happened, but
I was too busy laying my life on North Carolina, which is the only reason. Them and Oklahoma State, the 2 reasons to smile yesterday. But yeah, I missed that Duke one too.
Unbelievable, man. And Minnesota's 3-0 too. So watch out for them.
Yeah.
And another team, one more surprise team, guys, that might be favorable as far as gambling is concerned. This Purdue team is pretty good. Their only loss being, with Louisville, you know what I'm saying? So they might not be so bad overall. So that's pretty much it. Unless you got any more stuff on your brain.
No, I really don't. I don't have anything left in as far as that's concerned with college football. I just think we have to go. I still got the gloves on, gang. Bad loss by Stanford yesterday to San Diego State. Yeah. And that could be, the wheels could be.
Oh, that's I'm sorry to cut you off, Drew, but that's dagger, because look at this. Pac-12 right now.
Yep.
Undefeated teams. Wash State, Cal, Oregon, right? Washington, and USC.
Yep.
So you got 6 teams undefeated.
Oregon might be a little force to be reckoned with, too.
Yeah, that Wash State and out of Washington. Oregon, yeah, I think they're going to catch some losses in that conference. And then the Pac-12 South is not great. It's like USC, and then, the rest of the teams there, oh, wait, you know what? You have Utah. Sorry, I wasn't looking in ranking. You have Utah 3-0 and Colorado 3-0. So you actually have 6 undefeated teams. I know it's only 3 games in, but this Pac conference is good, guys.
No doubt. All right. Sounds good, guys. So let's just move right into the NFL, because I'm pretty much ready to get my groove going, and had a pretty good week last week. It's the NFL, guys. NFL Sunday. Let's roll.
14 parlay came through last week for me. It was stellar. The only little bit of a hiccup, or a little concern I had was what ATL. Atlanta gave me a little bit of a stomach ache at the end of that game, and Chicago almost scored, which I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this already week 1. But yeah, last week was great. The 4-teamer work. Gang, before we even get started, I want to talk about the awful ass performance out of the booty ass Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, right?
And
wow.
I don't know what firing the offensive coordinator is all about, because by the way, you need to fire Marvin Lewis and he can take Andy Dandy with him out of there, because they're hot. That team is freaking terrible, dude.
No touchdowns in 2 games.
Terrible.
Wow. You know what? He should have been fired a long time ago, in my opinion.
Oh, they don't fire anybody in Cincinnati. Dude, they got a general manager who's like 97 years old and has no idea what's going on. I mean, let's be realistic. You know, they got look at the team that they've put together. Their defense relies on Vontaze Burfict and Pac-Man Jones. Like, I'm just saying. And then your offense, we all knew Andy Dalton's no good. Tim Tebow has more playoff wins than Andy Dalton. Okay?
The Red Rocket. The Red Rocket,
Red
exactly.
Rocket.
I love getting a doctor fired up. And
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
They, like, that team had so many openings to be good. I'm saying, like, you know, I hate, like, Fat Andy, and I think Fat Andy could have won a Super Bowl with the teams that they've had in the past.
no doubt. All right. Well, you know what? I can tell you this much, that when you get a nasty game like that, the prop bet for the field goal or safety to be the first score is always dope.
Yeah,
It always seems
I
to
gotta
come
give a
formula.
shout out to a couple cats who had the first touchdown of the game, plus 20. I think it was plus 2,500 for Deshaun Watson,
Wow.
and that ended up happening. So that was pretty crazy.
That's sick. Cool,
Yes.
man. All right. So why don't we jump right into it, guys, and have a conversation about everything that's going on today, because I'm pretty excited about NFL today, guys. And just so you know, I'm going to keep plugging it throughout the show. We have our fantasy football contest going. We shared it on the Twitter page right now. Let me just see. We got 20 people. So we have 3 so far that have joined. Fast Eddie, congratulations to you last week. You won the contest. But guess who's lurking and stalking you? And that's me. T-Mac is here and myself, so you guys will make 5, and we'll keep this thing rocking, man. We'll just keep doubling it until we can't double it anymore. So 20 players, let's go.
If anybody is interested in like a high limit DraftKings, $50, $100 or something, DM me. I can set that up too.
All right, fantastic. All right. So first game on the ticket today, we've got a really ugly one in Baltimore. We've got the Browns at the Ravens. Browns 0-1, Ravens 1-0. Baltimore minus 7.5, under over of 38.5. I don't see Baltimore losing this game, although Cleveland could be a pain in the ass as they were last week. Dream, nasty game?
Nasty game, because the two teams know each other very well,
Yep.
play a lot, obviously, know each other's personnel, know each other's style of play. I mean, the Ravens been playing the same way, I don't know, since I was like a baby, it seems like, anyway. So it's not really much difference. Flacco closes his eyes, throws the ball up as far as he can. Somebody comes down with it. It's generally a Raven guy. The Browns, we don't really know what they're going to bring to the table and what they're going to try to do, but it just is an ugly game as far as I'm concerned. I don't really love the spread on this game. But you just can't. I mean, I can't take the Cleveland Browns. I just can't do it. My computer, when I go to press the Cleveland Brown button, says hell no. So that's my only issue with that. But outside of that, I think if you get rid of the points and get it down to a money line or get it under the 3, 2.5, I like the Ravens.
Dan?
I'm not gonna touch this game. I don't like either of these teams. I don't know if the Ravens game shows anything really, because hey, we were just talking about the team they beat. And Dream, come on, let's be realistic, brother. When you were a baby, it was the Colts, right? Baltimore Colts. Johnny Unitas slinging the rock around.
Come on, man. I ain't that
I had to.
Salt out there. That was foul.
That was a good one, Dan. I got to give it to you there. That was a good one. All right.
Oh man, but yeah, guys, there's a huge card out there today. If you were betting the Ravens, Browns, maybe look in the mirror.
I'm going to put that play on ice for now in case, because I may need another spot for a money line parlay. But I do like I think the Browns will win the game. Not a big fan of the 7.5 points, but we'll see how it goes. Next one is the Buffalo Bills at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina -7, under over a 43. Why do I have a feeling that Killer Cam is going to win today, Dan?
He's going to win. He's going to win.
Win the game.
Win the game.
Win the game.
Win the game. Part of me thinks that they cover. I don't know. I got to see more out of this team. You know, they looked terrible last year. You know, I just don't know that somehow Jordan Matthews won't rip them apart, because that secondary last year was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bills really are a shell of even what they were the last couple of years. I'm gonna stay away from this one though. The Carolina should win.
Dream, you getting Killer Cam?
I like Killer Cam. Killer Cam is going to be piece of the puzzle today. I'm going to get him in the money points. I think that the Carolina should be able to beat the Bills at home. The problem I have with the Panthers and watching them last week, they still, they're running with Stewart at the running back, and they're trying to get McCaffrey involved. I think they got to give him a few more touches. They did move him around in a couple of spots, and they had him in a couple of positions that were, not your traditional positions for a running back. I like that as well. Cam's balls and his trajectories, though, I don't know, man. Maybe last week he was a little bit amped up. I'm hoping he could come down and relax. Maybe being at home, got his week 1 game out of his system. Maybe he could come down and relax a little bit and get his trajectory right. But I did have some concern. He seemed to be throwing the ball very high last week when throwing it, and some of his decisions, timing just seemed off. Just gameplay in general seemed a little bit off. I've never loved Cam Newton as a quarterback anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a talented guy. Don't get me wrong. His legs are talented. He can sling the ball really far, but as far as those kind of touch passes, good reads of defenses, I never loved some of his decision making, but he has to get a little bit sharper right now as he's relying more on his arm than on his feet.
Got it. Okay.
But I still think they win that game.
All right. Sounds good. Next one we got on the ticket is a battle of 2 0-1 teams. You got the Arizona Cardinals, who lost last week, who were up big in the beginning of the game to the Detroit Lions and ended up losing that game overall, which I was on the Lions, which was a really nice play for me, but it was a stomach ache. They're facing probably what could be one of the worst teams in the NFL, being the Indianapolis Colts. Arizona -7 on the road, under over of 44 points. What's the status of Andrew Luck, Dan?
Out.
Nobody knows. Yeah, out for
Andrew
this
Luck's
week.
not playing.
Yeah, he's definitely out this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
He'll
right.
be out for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks if he's ever right again.
Okay.
Right?
Wait, hold on. Time out. Not only is Andrew Luck out, there's talks and there's rumors about Andrew Luck wants out of the Colt organization, period.
Really?
He's not coming back. Yeah, he's supposedly not coming back. First of all, unless he's 150%, there's supposed to be talks behind the scene that he doesn't have any faith in the organization anymore. They put him in a game last year when he was hurt. He didn't want to go back in.
Really?
They told him to go in anyway. Yeah, there's all kinds of behind the scenes stuff going on with him. He may not be a Colt. He may not play at all this season. It may not be a Colt next season, from what I've been hearing.
Wow.
Yep, and I actually see that report too. This started out of, I think, Mike Greenberg, who actually, for as goofy as he is on that morning show, has some decent inside knowledge. And I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, the Colts underratedly have maybe one of the worst owners in professional sports. The guy, I mean, this guy should have had 4 or 5 championships with Peyton Manning, right? And before deciding to trade him for picking up Andrew Luck, didn't put a defense around him either. But now the thing is, Andrew Luck doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't, T.Y. Hilton is a nice receiver. He doesn't have weapons, and he knows if he comes back, he's going to get killed, and he's going to risk his whole career. I think you're right. I think he's out of there as soon as possible.
But he just got paid all that money, though.
Well, they got to work out a deal. They're going to have to work out a situation with another team. I don't know what team that's going to be. You should be happy because after you see Jay Cuddles today at the helm.
Let's put it this way, guys. We all know this, and it goes both ways. Players and owners and GMs in the NFL, hoes ain't loyal. That money, he got paid, right? But But yeah, you got some guaranteed money. They cut him whatever. They don't got to pay him his contract.
Oh.
It just is what it is.
Yeah, no, they'll work out something to get. I mean, listen, Andrew Luck, make no mistake.
Andrew Luck. Here we go. Andrew Luck to the New York Football Giants.
Oh, what
In the offseason.
And what are you going to do with Elijah?
He's going to be 38 years old.
Okay.
And here's the thing: maybe Andrew Luck does need.
I hate to say this, Dan. I know you're gonna probably hate this comment. The Giants aren't smart enough to do that.
I disagree. The Giants are smart enough to get the skill position players, just not put an offensive line around them.
My thing is, the reason I say the Giants aren't smart, the Giants would not do that to Eli. I don't believe, unfortunately, from a loyalty standpoint, I respect the Giants in that. I don't think the Giants would do that to Eli Manning. I honestly don't.
Yeah, I mean that all depends. Look, I don't own jerseys. I own an Eli jersey, right? I'm an Eli guy. I'm not a guy trying to force him out of town. All I'm saying is that with no offensive line this year, let's say this season crashes and burns. The defense is good, but the offense is just as terrible as it's been. Major changes coming, and that probably means the GM and maybe the coach as well. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you have someone new coming in, 38-year-old Eli, they would probably try and facilitate a trade somewhere. If he was like, look, I'm still playing, maybe they trade him somewhere of his asking, somewhere that he has a chance to win. But look, all I'm saying is that if you look at it, you got to sell out for that. I know loyalty. I get it. But 38-year-old quarterback versus Andrew Luck, who possibly is trying to force his way out. And then what's the better situation? If he's trying to force his way out, if you look around the league, you want to talk about loyalty, right? Where else would Andrew Luck really try and force his way to that doesn't already have a quarterback?
Luck's going to he wants to go to San Fran. And by the way, Luck doesn't want to play in New York anyway, so he's not going to New York.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in Miami.
I know you wouldn't. That's especially after.
What about undercover? What about New Orleans?
No, they're not getting rid of Breeze.
No, Breeze is the ball.
No, Breeze might go.
Breeze's contract is up. Yes, yeah, so that is a small possibility. I don't think Breeze is going anywhere though. I think he's going to be a Saint for life. So anyway, back to the game.
Yeah. I
don't know how you even bet on this game because as bad as the Colts look, the Cardinals look just as bad.
Thank you.
Carson Palmer, dude, I said it last week, man. I think it's a wrap. Matter of fact, there's a great spot for Andrew Luck. Go to Arizona.
Oh my God!
Oh
yeah,
damn. That
with
would
those
be good.
weapons right now, look, obviously David Johnson injured.
One of and by the way, last but not least, let's not forget Denver for Andrew Luck.
That is a good call, Dream. So
that would be great. But no, you're 100% right, Dream. I don't understand. Look, you got Jacoby Brissett starting today.
Yep.
So it's not Tolzien.
Tolzien looked dope last week.
Oh my god! I was like looking at that. I was like, yo, am I looking in the mirror? I think my foot works better.
I gotta break it down. I'm sorry, but I've been talking crap about Cap, and I see some people hit me with Cap could be a backup in the NFL after watching Week 1. You know what? Y'all right, Cap.
Yo, the fact that Tolzien, if I was the Colts, I would have called up Tim Tebow over Tolzien.
Tim Tebow could come back to the NFL and Peyton Ball could make a return. The NFL Vinny Testaverde,
63 years old, sitting on his couch. He's like, yo, Adrian, call up the Colts right now. I think I could get in there.
Call up the Bengals.
But no, you're right. I just don't see how Arizona has any business giving up this number. I mean, a couple reasons, right? Quarterback's done. Your best wide receiver is 96 years old. And look, I love Larry Fitzgerald, but like, let's be real here. Your best weapon, maybe the best weapon in the whole NFL outside of Le'Veon Bell, is done for basically the season. Your team stunk last year. Your team stinks this year. And I understand the Colts stink, but still the NFL. And you're going on the road and giving up that many points. Part of me just wants to lay it on the Colts.
After the beat.
Don't let that part loose.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not, but I like Jacoby Brissett, man.
Yeah, no, he's not bad. He's not bad.
I do have to remind you that part of you guess last week.
Yeah, half point. I should have played a half point higher. We would have pushed.
Yeah, all right. So looking at the Colts and Cards, I just don't know how you bounce back from the beatdown that the Rams handed them. And can I get some love for the Rams play, guys, please? Because I was on the Rams last week. No. All right. Well, here we go. I'm gonna give you something better. I'm gonna give you a great play here.
Yes.
Titans, Jags, Tennessee -1.
Go.
Under over of 41 points. I'm going to take a shot with the field goal or safety to be the first score in this game.
Is the love affair with the Tennessee Titans finally around?
Oh, I know, dude. I had Mariota last week.
You got to go to the Super Bowl this year.
I had Mariota last week in my fantasy, and it didn't fare too well for me.
Didn't fare well, did it?
No. Not at all. Dan,
Mariota is like he's kind of like a worse Alex Smith when Alex Smith was young.
You know what? That's a good analogy, actually. No, I think he's a little bit better than Alex Smith.
Even Alex Smith looked dope last week, but no, you're Titans, man. I don't know.
No,
I don't even know what to think about either of these two teams just yet. Again, I don't see how you could lay down on either one of them.
Well, I'm laying down, and I'm laying down with the Jags. I do like the Jags in this game. I'm not playing this game, but I like the Jags. I think that they're more I think at home, Blake Bortles is capable. Looks like they toned him down a little bit. He didn't throw any interceptions last week, which is a big deal for him. You know, Fournette, they're getting some rushing out of him. He had 26 carries last week for 100 yards with a touchdown, so they are able to get the running game going. On the other side, I think a major problem in Tennessee is going to be their inability to run the ball and their running back situation. DeMarco Murray, 12 carries with only 44 yards last week. And I talked to B-Mac right before week 1 started. He said that both running backs are more banged up than they're letting on as far as Tennessee concerned. And it looked like that came to fruition last week as well. So, listen, I don't love this game, but if I'm going to lean away, I do like the Jaguars.
All right. Sounds good. Well, speaking of Alex Smith, we got the next game on the ticket, battle of 1-0 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City -5 with an under-over of 47. Seems like kind of a high total, guys. Dan, where you at with that?
It is a little bit of a high total, but that's because Kansas City's going to bludgeon the Eagles today.
Yeah, they're going to bludgeon them. Total annihilation, what you got?
I believe a total annihilation is at hand. I don't understand how this number's 5, guys. You go from obviously a huge, really an annihilation of the Patriots in their building, hyped up, all that, and now you have 10 days to prepare for Fat Andy's old team at home. And you had a game last week where Alex Smith finally looked unshackled. It looked like he was just eating up that defense. And the Eagles' defense, let's face it, they are not that much better. Look, I don't care what they did against Washington. You saw some things there. The Eagles, my biggest problem with the Eagles as a team is their defense is always undersized. Always undersized. Kels is going to eat today. He's going to go nuts and just completely take this game over. This is one of my 2 1 p.m. straight up Chiefs -5 all day.
Dream.
Yes.
Like it?
Don't like it because the Chiefs remind me of, you know who the Chiefs remind me of? They remind me of the Louisville Cardinals, the Louisville team from college football. I'm not going to base the Chiefs week against the Patriots. I'm not going to base that on this week. I do like the Chiefs in this game, but be very careful with this game because the Chiefs are one of those teams that I feel play to their opponents. The Eagles come in and they want to play around in between the 30-yard lines and play the kickoff, the field goal game, the field position game. Mm-hmm. I think the Chiefs will get involved in that and play that game with them as well. I look for Alex Smith to regress a little bit. Some openings that Alex Smith got last week was due to the inexperience and inability of the New England secondary, which I don't think you're going to see the same inexperience on the Eagles secondary. You had a Washington Redskins team that, Kirk Cousins can sling the ball. This Eagle defense was able to keep that somewhat in check to an extent. So I don't expect the Chiefs to go completely crazy with throwing the ball down the field like they did last week. This is one of the great today there's 3 really good games to watch. I think this is going to be a very competitive good game. which is why I would say be very careful. I think you need to get the Kansas City Chiefs under 2.5. I can see this game being won by a field goal. I also, for some reason, am leaning towards the under in this game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of scoring in this game.
All right. Well, speaking of scoring and speaking of the NFL and a couple of teams here, you got a couple of 0-1 teams, the Patriots and the Saints playing
real
today.
Quick, Hat, sorry.
Yep, no problem.
This just coming in, Sam Bradford walking off the field.
Not playing.
Most likely not playing. Knee looks shot. That coming in Twitter first from one of our boys, T-House, sorry. But I'm looking at it now, and there's major reports coming out that Sam Bradford looks done.
Ooh. Well, that's not a good look for the Minnesota Vikings.
No, and I think Teddy Bridgewater is still on injured reserve,
Yep,
which means that he can't come back till I think week 6 at the earliest. So you have now a no-name quarterback
Ooh.
coming out most likely for the Minnesota Vikings. Before we can get into the other game, I'll do some research to see who is going to play quarterback for the Vikings.
Thank you for that information, Dan. So,
And T-House, big props. Thanks for tweeting that out.
Yeah, no
That
doubt.
just happened like 5 minutes ago.
absolutely. So, Patriots, Saints, Patriots on the road minus 6.5 with an under over of 57. Guys, can the Patriots go 0-2?
I don't
hope
think
they
so.
Yeah, you hope they do, Dan. Why is it?
So then I can long bet them to win the Super Bowl, and have it at like plus money. Good plus money there.
Hey, listen, don't say never here. I mean, it is a possibility. I mean, the Saints are still the Saints at home.
The Patriots lost 2 in a row and won a Super Bowl before, so
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have the Patriots losing this game today. And I know you never say never, but I watched the New Orleans Saints defense last week, and they are just as bad as they always have been, and maybe even a little bit worse. This team is just not defensively sound. And the offense, it just doesn't look fluid. Their offense does not look fluid. I expect the Patriots to come in and have a great game plan for this team. If they reviewed the film last week, it should be, as far as I'm concerned, easy to come up with a game plan to have some effectiveness against this New Orleans Saints secondary. So I see Brady slinging the ball all over the place. I look for the Patriots to, really go out there and try to take a handle on this game. Guys, I got the Patriots winning. I'm not taking the spread. It's a money line parlay, so get rid of the points. I got the Patriots winning. I don't see them losing another game.
All right.
I tend to agree with you, Dream. I really do. I just can't pull the trigger because did you see the Patriots defense too?
I did.
Yeah,
but
right.
I
That was Alex Smith, and now we got Breezy.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I know, but I think that their scheme will be different, and they'll draw up some things different. They've had a week to work with these guys and work on what they want. And, Belichick, come on. We know what Belichick's capable of doing. I just don't even if you get in a shootout, the Patriots win.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that. Well, hey, for all you fantasy players out there, I'm sure you'll rack up a lot of points in this game with whoever you take.
That is a good one to play the daily fantasy.
Right on. So right now we got 6 out of 20 as far as our league is concerned. Dan, have you joined it yet?
I haven't. I'll be in there.
Okay, perfect. So you'll make 7.
The league, you have to put your whole lineup in order to join. Why don't they and then put your lineup in?
You just put like a beat lineup in,
right?
And then
right.
Get it, but it seems to me like you should be able to just join and then you can put your lineup.
You know why? Because then what'll happen is if somebody doesn't put a team in, then it'll mess the whole thing up. So I can understand that. You know what I mean? To a certain
and by
extent.
the way, everybody's confirmed it will be Case Keenum for the Vikings today. So
Case Keenum. All right. Well, that's the next game on the ticket. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams are 1-0. Pittsburgh didn't look that great last week, but you know what, guys? It still is an interconference matchup when you play the Browns. Pittsburgh's -7, under over a 44.5, and Case Keenum, like you said, is going to be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings versus Big Ben and the boys. I like Pittsburgh here to win this game. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh in a moneyline parlay. Dream, are you on the same page?
I am on the same page, especially now with Case Keenum. You know I love the Steelers team. I think they're the most I think they're the best. They have the best 3-punch out of all the teams in the NFL on offense. The problem is they can play games sometimes. You know, they can get into, some fun stuff. The play calling can get a little bit suspect, and the defense sometimes will give up some plays. But I do think that they have the best offense in the NFL, most explosive, Roethlisberger, Brown, and Bell. And then you add in the other additives that the Steelers have on on offense, and you have a very good offensive
I was going to say, don't be talking about defense now, because
right.
they don't have that much of that. But, before Bradford went down,
yep.
I was going to be – and dude, I had this selected on my book. I was going to take the Vikings plus 7.5.
Right.
I really like the Vikings defense. I think it's a top 3 defense.
No doubt.
I think Dalvin Cook is a punishing runner, and I think just the middle of the Pittsburgh defense is weak. I'm with you. I think I actually liked the over in this game. Now, look, I think Pittsburgh will probably win this pretty handily. I just have you're going to stack the box now for Dalvin. You're going to force Case Keenum to beat you, which I don't think he can do. Look, if you like this game, I'd lock it in now because it still looks unchanged in some books. But yeah, man,
is that 9
I've
now?
seen it still in some places. It's 7.
Get it.
Yep.
So if you like the Steelers, you could still get 7 at minus 115 in certain places. I'd pop that in, but yeah, this is a huge loss for the Vikings. Obviously, Bradford looked good. Now the game is pretty much shot, and the Vikings are shot.
Sure. Exactly.
Vikings go out and trade for Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Right on, man. All right. But I got the Steelers winning today, especially with Case Keenum at the helm. Next one on the ticket, we've got the Chicago Bears, who are 0-1 versus the 0-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since their game did not get played last week versus the Miami Dolphins. You've got a Tampa Bay minus 6.5, under over 43.5. Ugh, this is an ugly game, I think, guys. Dream, nasty, right?
Well, the word about Tampa Bay is the word every year. Winston's moving up. He's taking it all on his shoulders. He's going to do it this year. They're going to be more successful. We haven't seen it happen yet, though, but there's been talk about it always.
Whoa. I disagree with that, Dream.
All right.
I think he's the only quarterback in his rookie and sophomore year to throw for over 4,000 yards.
Interesting.
And if you don't win, though, I don't care how many yards you throw.
Well, you don't consider last year a successful year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
You know what? Tampa Bay was maybe a successful year for them. I'll give you that. But my problem is week basis as far as making money. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year caught a bunch of people in a bunch of bad spots. And they did not pan out the way we expected them to pan out. We heard a lot of talk about how good they were going to be, how they were going to make turn the next corner. And at the end of the day, especially from a gambling standpoint, they just didn't. That being said, I think the Buccaneers win this week because the Bears, I believe, on the road, Glennon's getting his first opportunity on the road in Tampa Bay. I think they're in for a little bit of a surprise. Tampa Bay with 2 weeks under their belt to prepare. Let's think about that as well.
Sure.
Yep.
So a little bit longer to prepare as far as their game plan is concerned. I do like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this game today, but I am putting it in a moneyline parlay.
All right. Sounds good. Well, one player that I have been successful with, going back to last year, was the tight end for the Buccaneers being Cameron Brate. He was good for me last year. So something to take a look at, guys. Next one we got on the ticket is the...
I'm just saying, sorry.
Yeah,
I actually love the Bucs here. I think
you love the Bucs.
Chicago. Come on, Chicago. I know it's just an overreaction from week one. They held Atlanta in check at home. They always play really well in opening games, especially at home. Let's just look at the rosters here for a second. I know Dream doesn't love Jameis, and maybe I'm a Jameis apologist. That's fine because he is a cool dude. But I think Jameis opens up the year. I think that receiving core goes crazy today. I'm with you, Hat. Tight end has a big day, and I don't think the Bears can muster up any offense.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Let's move on to the Miami Dolphins versus the L.A. Chargers. LA minus 3.5, under over a 45.5. My Miami Dolphins getting their first game of the year. So what that means, guys, is that they're not going to have a bye week. They're going to play every single week from now on because of that. And I believe Tampa Bay, same thing. Pains me to say this. Jay Cutler is my quarterback.
Get the slow songs
Wow.
popping.
But I know you're a Matty Missile fan.
I am.
Come on.
Big
Cuddles
Matt Moore
is
fan.
so much better than what you had
Stop.
to work with.
Cuddles
Bro.
is. I don't know. You really
No,
think
it's
Cuddles
So
is.
much better than Tannehill.
Oh.
The problem is, though, he athletically throwing the football, yes. The problem is dumb decisions, bad turnovers, and bad spots. That's where he kills you.
Yeah. Got it. So,
Fair
I
enough.
mean, looking at this quarterback matchup makes me want to throw up, to be honest with you. Rivers versus Cuddles. My God. Oh. You know what? It's a 4 o'clock game. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of chill. And then kind of chill all day long and then maybe go out for this game. I don't know yet, depending on how I feel. But I have no opinion whatsoever. I don't know what to make. I mean, it's the Dolphins' first game. I didn't even get a chance to look at them yet. So, what were your thoughts? I mean, did any of you guys? I did not watch the Chargers last week. Did any of you guys take a look at them?
A little bit.
Not me.
No. Yeah, I didn't really see much of it, to be honest with you.
It sounded like it was the regular Chargers.
Melvin
Which
Gordon.
I was not staying up late at night to see Rivers close his eyes and throw the ball as far as he can.
Yeah, right.
Somebody catch it. And
You know
just
what,
have a headache.
though? You got to say, we all thought the Broncos, for all their problems on offense, right, had top 5 defense. And, look, I'm not saying it was, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like the Chargers went out there and got the crap kicked out of them. Lost a close one. That being said, I think you're going to be happy with your Dolphins. I'm not playing it, but I think Ajayi has a big game. And Cuddles doesn't turn it over more than once.
Okay. All right. So I'm staying away from it because I have no opinion whatsoever. I'm going to kind of just watch and see how Cuddles does, Next one is a double-digit favorite as the Oakland Raiders are minus 13.5 versus the New York Jets. Under over 43.5. Derek Carr at the helm. Oh, Dan, I know you're a big Jets guy here, so I want to hear what you got to say here. That's Dan's squad.
Big Jets guy. What did I say? I said this is going to be the only game that I will touch the Jets all year because and look, half point. That's all I got to say. Fine, lost, but no, the Jets are getting. I'm trying not to swear. The Jets are getting murdered here.
Yeah.
Going on the road. I mean, you know me. I love this Oakland team. I think this Oakland team is an AFC Championship team. I'm really excited. A little off topic, but really excited for the Chiefs and Raiders games this year.
Yep.
It's gonna be sick. This game is like a warm up. This game is like when when Alabama goes and plays like Tuscaloosa State. 14 points. God, I just don't see how you don't take it. I guess, it's an NFL team and maybe there's a backdoor cover. I just do not see how the Jets really score points here. And I don't see how the Raiders don't score at least, 28 points.
Got it. All right. Dream.
Yes.
Are you believing the hype of the Oakland Raiders?
I am believing in the hype of the Oakland Raiders, and especially against the New York. It's not even about the hype of the Oakland. About the bootiness of the New York Jets that are just awful, and then bad, and then some more. We can't talk about how bad this team is offensively. We can't talk about how suspect this team is defensively. When you're put on the field for an extended amount of time, especially against this Oakland Raider team that's stacked offensively, it's going to be a problem. And as Dan says, it looks like total annihilation is written all over this game. I don't see how the Jets score either. Maybe a kickoff return, maybe a field goal, a punt
Field
return,
goal or something.
Field goal or something, right? Other than that, I don't see how it goes down. I got the Raiders killing this game. Am I laying the 13.5? No, because I just don't do that. But This is a piece of the puzzle as far as the money line parlay is concerned. So I do like the Oakland Raiders as well to win this game. I think it's no contest.
Okay. Next one on the ticket, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Denver Broncos. Dallas -2.5 on the road with an under over 43. Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott at the helm here for the boys. Dream, all the Cowboy fans are beating their chest these days yet again.
Okay, so I'm here. It's time. All right? I'm
here.
driving
It's time.
the bus. I'm driving the bus. Cowboys go to the Super Bowl this year. The Dallas Cowboys, okay, hold on. Barring Ezekiel Elliott getting suspended towards the tail end of the season, Cowboys go to the Super Bowl this year and possibly have an opportunity to win. This Dallas team, guys, I am now willing to blow the horn and toot the whistle on Dallas. Dallas, in my opinion, is the best team in the NFC. They have the running game, which is absolutely phenomenal. When you have a great running game like they have, which they have, and I should say also, barring any major injuries from this team. So let me take that back with the Super Bowl. You got to keep Dak in there. You got to keep a healthy Ezekiel Elliott in there, and we're going to need to keep at least two of the offensive linemen to 3 healthy. But barring any major injuries, this team has it all. That offensive line has its way. They're able to clock management, control games with their running game, which is highly formidable. And then you key in to stop the run, and they've got all kinds of weapons to throw the ball to as far as Dez is concerned. And forget Dez, because Dez's been a non-factor with the Cowboys. The guy you really got to watch out for, in my opinion, Cole Beasley, who does not get talked about enough. You're talking about Cole Beasley reminds me of BB from, the Denver Broncos, a little bit of Edelman in him as well. He's got that kind of gameplay ability. Go out there and catch the ball anywhere he's put in. Gives you that effort. I like Dak's choices. The other thing about this Cowboy team, offensively, they don't turn the ball over. They just don't turn the ball over. They don't fumble. They throw interceptions. And when you don't do that, you've got all your intangibles in place. It's a recipe to success. This is my 5-star game of the day. I got it at 1. Cowboys -1. It's a huge play for me. I got the Cowboys beating the Broncos. Might not be a blowout. Might be relatively tough. Might be a little bit low scoring, but I got the Cowboys winning this game. Broncos have a good defense, but their offense is still dusty. They need a quarterback worse than ever. They should get out on the phone with Peyton Ball, see what they could do to bring him back. And that is a joke. Stop doing Papa John's commercials. But I got the Cowboys winning. My favorite play of the day. I love the Cowboys.
Wow. And you know what, Dream? I've remember, years past, you getting punched in the face by this Cowboys team time and time again.
Yes.
Hopefully it doesn't happen to you anymore.
But not this Cowboys team.
Okay.
That was Romo. That was other guys. Not this bunch.
Well, this game will say also a lot about the Giants, because if Denver goes out there and lights them up and puts up like 35 points, then I can really feel hopeless going into Monday night.
Yeah.
But no, I'm actually with you, Dream. I don't know about Super Bowl talk. I think they're going to be right there, and I think every game really matters, because I think Green Bay is also going to be right there, and you want that game to be at home. If that's the NFC Championship game, you got to get that in Dallas. This is a game that you have, if you have Super Bowl aspirations, you got to go and you got to win. Hate to say it, would love to see them lose, but don't think it's happening.
Okay. All right. So we're going to move on to the next game here. Oh, a couple of nasty ones here. Well, the Sunday night game is great, but you got the Redskins with Kissing Cousins at the LA Rams. Rams -2.5, under over 45. For some reason, I'm feeling the Rams again, Dream.
Yeah, all right. Well, whatever. And by the way, the reason that they don't want to give you is just look at last week's game. Because when the game is on the line, Kirk Kissing Cousins is not the father. He's not the guy you want at the helm. In a situation last week to tie or take the lead on 3rd and, I want to say, 4, Kiss throws an interception that basically lost that game for them last week. Matter of fact, I think a field goal takes the lead by 1 point in that game when he threw that interception. Awful performance by him last week at home in front of his fan base. this guy, I love him to death because I like the way he throws the ball and he looks really good sometimes. But he's another one, a la Cutler, that will throw and make a bad decision and hurt you when the game's on the line. That's the one knock about Cuz. Now over to the Rams. Dude, look, you're not selling me that the Rams are dope just because of what they did last week. Jared Goff did not look all that. I mean, yeah, his numbers look great, but we know that the Colts haven't had a good defense since Johnny Unitas, Dan was talking about. So I'm not going crazy about the damn Colts defense and what the Rams were able to do. And a lot of those points came, that game was over second quarter, the end of second quarter?
Pretty much.
For the most part. So it was garbage time for the rest of the game. The Colt guys didn't want to be out there, so they were letting them have their way. The Redskins defense will be a lot more formidable than that Colt team was. That being said, I don't like either one of these teams. I don't trust either one of their guys. I definitely don't trust the Rams. I think the Rams got a decent defense. If you're out in the field a lot, it's gonna, there's gonna be some issues. The Redskins got a lot of formidable weapons, and just when you think the Redskins are done and will lose a game, it's the type of game that they would win. Stay away from this game.
All right.
See, I really like the Redskins here.
Oh, wow.
I think this is such a stereotypical week one overreaction because you got to remember the things that the Redskins do somewhat well, the Colts don't ever do. The Redskins can stop the run. The Redskins do have a cornerback that could take down your number one passing target. Goff that was an illusion. Again, this is one of those teams that, they're just not very good. I just don't think the Rams are very good. And I think the Redskins do come back and win this game. A severe overreaction. If this was week one, what would the spread have been? Redskins -3, Redskins -4 on the road.
Yeah, most likely.
And now they're +2.5 based on one game. I'm not with you. And the thing is, look, I'm not a Cousins fan either. But at the same time, and it's funny. I was getting my hair cut, getting my beard trimmed. I'm in the barber chair talking to a big Redskins fan, and he was saying the same thing. Man, it's almost like that team kind of set him up to fail a little bit so they could sign him at their price. I don't like the composition of the team necessarily this year, but they're getting a win today against the Rams.
Oh, okay. I'm on the opposite side. We got the 49ers at the Seahawks today. Seahawks -14 points. Damn, we got two double-digit underdogs today in favorites. Brian Hoyer at the helm for the San Francisco 49ers. Under over 41 points. Dream, the Niners are, I know you're a fan of the Niners, but it's been very, very tough to watch.
Well, I mean, it's not tough. It's been no tougher to watch the Miami Dolphins and Miami Dolphin fans, New York Giants fans. So the three of us, it's been tough watches for all of us.
Yeah, right.
I'm concerned with that. As far as the Niners are concerned,
I mean, my team did go 11-5 last year.
Yes, they did.
Oh.
And they beat the Cowboys twice.
They beat the Cowboys twice, Dan, as you told us last week.
Yep.
Anyway, as far as the Niners are concerned, the Niners looked not as bad as I expected them to look in last week's performance. This game to me is very, very scary.
Of course it is.
Now, on one side, you got the Seahawks, who have traditionally owned the Niners, coming off of a loss to Green Bay. The problem, though, with the Seahawks is, one, that offensive line does not look drastically better than it was last week. I've never liked the Seattle Seahawks' offensive weapons as far as the wide receiver position is concerned. I do like Russell Wilson and his ability to extend plays with his feet and watch for him to break down. But you got a San Francisco 49er defense that is playing somewhat great from a fundamentally defensively sound standpoint. The Niners plus this 14 points. I feel like Seattle has no right giving anybody 14 points right now. And I will say, yes, Seattle's defense looked really good against a potent Green Bay Packer offense. I'll give you that. They did look good. A little bit better than I expected them to look. I don't know. Something about this game just has my eyebrow raised. I think 14 points is too much for Seattle. I just was not that impressed with Seattle's coming out party last week, their week one performance. I don't love Green Bay's defense. So to say, I think they're a good defense, but they can break and bend a lot. And I still offensively there's something about this Seahawks team offensively. They just never do it for me offensively.
No.
I think this game is going to be tight. I'm not playing it, but I honestly, if I had to bet this game, I would put this in a teaser and get the Niners up to. If you get the Niners over 17 points, I think you can win the Niners. But I guess the smarter way to go is to take the Seahawks and tease them down than to tease the Niners up.
Oh wow, Dream. That's tough because that could be a 20-3, 24-3, something like that. I mean, because it does happen.
I don't think so, dude. I don't think so.
Not 9-2. 9-2.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be like a safety.
Yeah.
Or something like that. No, I mean, look, I think the Seahawks again are overhyped this year. But the thing is they're just a Jekyll and Hyde team, and when they're at home, they're just much better. But that offensive line, I see where you're going with this, Dream. But San Francisco cannot score. They have no offensive weapons to get anything done. So, I mean, if they get down even 10-0, that's a wrap. I mean, that's a wrap. I don't know. So, I think this is a really ugly game.
Yeah, and when you look at it, too, I mean, both of these offenses, when they play each other, they don't do anything, man. I mean, the Niners, in the last 3 meetings between these teams, averaged 217 yards total on offense, where the Seattle Seahawks are 225. These are very low-scoring games when these two teams get together. What's the total here? What do we got? We got a 41. I'm almost thinking about buying that up. Maybe getting it up to like 49 or something like that, and mixing it up with another team. That might be the play on this game, guys.
What about doing that with the Raiders?
It's a good possibility. Well, I have a 3-1 parlay that I'm putting in, and I'll announce it at the end of the show here. But so that's pretty much that. Unless you guys got anything else on that game. Good.
Scary game.
Scary game.
Scary game to me because I think that the Niners are better. They're a little bit better than we think they are, and I definitely think Seattle's overrated. But Seattle is home. It's just that 14. Don't lay that 14.
Don't lay to 14. All right.
Don't lay to 14.
Let's go over to Sunday Night Football as we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta -3, under over of 56.5. A lot of points here. Dream, what's your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and the boys?
Well, I agree with Dan. Aaron, I love Aaron Rodgers, one of my favorite quarterbacks. Obviously, one of the better quarterbacks in the game for a minute now. This Packer team looked really good last week in playing the Seattle Seahawks. They were able to get Randall Cobb going. I talked about the addition of Marcellus Bennett, who I think is going to be a huge addition. It didn't really come to fruition last week. I'm going to look forward again this week, Marcellus Bennett to be a key ingredient in this game. Also, Ty Montgomery. I like what I see out of him running in the backfield. He was decent last week in some nice spots. I think Green Bay needs to get that going. The Packers, though, one thing about the Packers, and I noticed the same thing about the New Orleans Saints, it seems like they don't have patience with their offense. They get very antsy and seem to force some things. And they always, I know the pass makes the run for them and they live and die off of his arm, but they just need to have a little bit more patience and composure. Atlanta, I don't really understand the Atlanta Falcons, so to say. I know they're somewhat good. I don't think they're really good. I also don't think they're really bad. So I think they're somewhat good. They are home. This is a game that they'll come to play. I expect them to have some success against Green Bay's defense. However, I think the Packers win this game. I don't really know how the Packers are going to win this game, but I think that the Packers will find a way to win this game, probably off an Atlanta Falcon mistake or coming up short in a situation. The Matt Ryan will give you that interception, when you least need it. They will fumble at times. They will make mistakes. Their defense, I don't love them. You got to like the Falcons maybe because they're at home, but I think the Packers find a way to win this game. You might want to look at the total. It's 54. It's a little bit on the higher side too. This game to me is a watcher, but if I had a gun to my head, I'm going to take the Packers.
Wow. Interesting. You know what? Maybe in a parlay situation, Dream, where you get a bunch of, or a teaser, you get a bunch of points.
If you could get Green Bay, if you could get Green Bay plus the 10, you put a 7-point.
Yeah.
Even better, get an 11 and put them plus 14, 2 scores. I think you can't go wrong with Green Bay. Dan, what's your thoughts?
I really like Green Bay too.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a shootout of a game. I think both defenses are not great. I think, again, the 3 points on Seattle is kind of an illusion because you're able to put such pressure every play. That's not going to happen. And again, I think both middles of the secondary are going to get kind of eaten up. I think Jordy Nelson has a big game. I do think Martellus Bennett will step up and have a big game. But, I also love in the red zone Richard Rodgers. He always seems to just lumber into the end zone. Everybody forgets about him, and there you go. But, I also think that Freeman's going to have a huge game running the ball.
Yep.
Matt Ryan, Julio, I think that connection gets going. I think they feel kind of fortunate to come out of Chicago with a win, maybe overlooking them a little bit for this game. Great Sunday night game, but I think Green Bay gets the win, and I think we're seeing something like 37. I wouldn't be surprised 37, 31.
Wow. All right.
I think it's gonna be real high.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm struggling with it, guys, because Atlanta is capable of scoring at will at times. I mean, if they get the crowd behind them in the dome on Sunday Night Football,
scoring at will. Why didn't they do it in the Super Bowl?
And I'd worry.
They did in the first. They did in the first half.
I'd worry about a dome crowd with Derek Carr or somebody like that. Not Aaron Rodgers. I'm not concerned about a crowd getting to Aaron Rodgers. Veteran offensive line. Again, veteran the offense, again, that's one of the biggest things. They also don't make mistakes on offense.
Got it.
They don't take a lot of negative penalties, negative plays. Atlanta, I could see them committing a few penalties. So
okay. All right, sounds good, guys. Well, that does it for all the games as far as today is concerned. Just real quick, because we're not going to be on tomorrow, if you want to touch on the Lions and Giants, Dan. Lions are 1-0, Giants are 0-1, Giants -3, under over 42. And guys, feel free to follow Dr. Dan Evil Genius on Twitter, and I'm sure you'll be very vocal for tomorrow night's game. But any thoughts there with the New York Football Giants? Will they?
Well, I'm gonna have to be somewhat composed because I'm doing a client dinner. But it is in New York City, so they're all Giants fans. So that's a good thing. But so I can't go crazy unless maybe the client. I don't know. Start going crazy and start taking shooters of whiskey with me because that's how depressed we might be if we look up at the end of the first quarter and Eli's been sacked 7 times. I've been having nightmares of John Jerry and Eric Flowers, which is horrifying to wake up to in cold sweats, just thinking that I could sack Eli. That being said, I think it comes down to whether Odell Beckham plays. Because, unfortunately, the offense is so bad and so one-dimensional, and they don't have their one dimension. I'm trying, with a lot of these games, I'm trying not to be an alarmist, right? 1 week is 1 week. That was a bad 1 week. And, as a fan, I'm trying to say, this is terrible. But, look, oh man, I'm not confident about this game, but the defense is really good. Maybe the defense gets 2 defensive touchdowns or something.
Let me help you out. Giants win.
I agree with you, Dream. I think they're going to get the job done.
Last week was not about the Giants Cowboys being good as far as I'm concerned, and the Giants were right there. This Lion team will shoot themselves in the foot like they always do.
Yep.
I know they won last week, but they started off shaky as usual. The Giants will be up for this game. I saw a lot of bright spots out of the Giants last week, a lot of impressive things. And believe me, the Lions are not the Dallas Cowboys. They do not have that type of running game. I do know that they can throw the ball, and Matthew Stafford can make some miracles. I think you're not going to have a problem with this particular matchup. I see Marshall being able to have a little bit of success against the Lions secondary. I see Eli being able to throw the ball around and get some good things going. I like the Giants in this spot. Your Giant defense has played very well against a really good Dallas Cowboy offensive line, and you still were in that game for the most of it. this Detroit Lions won't put up a big threat. I got the Giants winning this game.
Okay.
Hat, I just got to ask you real quick, man. Like, did I take like the wrong pill or something? Like, because I got Dream on the Giants and the Cowboys.
Wow,
this week.
I know.
I'm like, did I smoke something?
Crazy, man.
Crazy, man.
No,
Well, I appreciate your confidence, Dream. I hope you're right.
No,
you gotta see.
yeah.
When you watch that game, you look at the game and then you base it on the. Yeah, I know one team emerged, but you're talking about two teams that played really good. It's just there's one team that I think is a really, really good team, and then there's another team that I think is good. And that's where we're at with the Giants. And this Lion team, I mean, the Lions are what the Lions seem to be. That seems to be the same product they put in year after year in and year out. They're still lacking a running game, and the Giant defense is going to be good against the run and shut that down. Stanford will throw you that interception where need be. And if the Giants played a couple of things different, play calling maybe a little bit more aggressive and changed a little bit, I still think they would have lost last week, but I think they'll fix that this week. And God forbid Beckham plays. If Beckham plays, then it's definitely a home run. But I got the Giants beating the Lions.
All right.
Even without Beckham.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Well, that's going to do it pretty much for the NFL. Great show today. Very much appreciated. So what we're going to do is we'll bounce around the round table here and go through your plays, and I'll go through mine. I'm going to start off with you, Dream.
Yes.
Where are you at today?
Number one play of the day, gang. The whole bang of it, a lot of it is going to be on the Dallas Cowboys minus 1 point. It's my favorite play of the day. I love the Cowboys. I ain't plan on riding the Cowboys pretty much like I would ride the New England Patriots in years past, and even Green Bay in years past. To me, this is the Cowboys' year. I think they're going to the Super Bowl, and depending on who they play, I think they're going to have some success. The Cowboys is my number one play today. I absolutely love them. If you guys want to put out a money line parlay, I do like a pretty simple money line parlay that would feature the Dallas Cowboys is number one, the Oakland Raiders is number two. Number 4 is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And number 4 would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's my 4-teamer of choice. You could probably supplant Tampa Bay. You could either go, I'm going to stay away from the New England game. I do like the Patriots to bounce back, but I'm going to stay Bay against the Bears, and I'm also going to stay away from the Chiefs as well, even though I think the Chiefs win against the Eagles too. But I think those 4 are the safest, less stomachache games that you can have. So I'm just going to go Broncos, I'm going to go Raiders, I'm going to go Tampa Bay, and I'm going to go Steelers.
Okay. Dan, where are you at?
All right. So 2 1 o'clocks and then the evening.
All right.
Kansas City -5. Tampa Bay -6.5. And the Green Bay Packers, we'll go money line.
Oh, money line.
I don't need no 3 points. We go money line, Ryan A-Rod to the finish line.
All right, sounds good. All right, so where I'm looking at, I'm doing a 4-team money line parlay. Pays almost 3-1. I'm going Panthers, Cardinals, Steelers, Rams. That's where I'm at. So if I get in trouble with that Rams game in the 4 o'clock hour,
the Rams.
I can switch it around. The Rams defense is good, guys.
Son, get the Rams out of here. Oh my God.
Hey Dream, I'm sorry, but like the Rams, I don't know, man. The Jets and the Rams, week 1 and 2.
I wish I thought about the New York Football Giants before I put the play in, because I would have added them too. Probably would have paid dope.
Guys, real quick, also, if you like this, for you total guys, I like the under in the Kansas City game. I think it's going to be a little bit tight. I think you might have a solid opportunity here in that particular under. And there was one more spot I had. Let's see. I'm just going to go there. Under in the Kansas City game. I like the under in the Steelers game. Now with I don't know what the Steelers are going to turn into, because now without Bradford in there,
yeah,
the Steelers defense might have a little bit of a day as well.
Yep. Okay. All right. Sounds good, guys. Well, great show, and I appreciate both of you being on. We'll be back on next Sunday, guys, 10 o'clock. But you know what? The signups have been a little dusty for the fantasy football contest so far. So let's get everybody on board here. Looks like we got 8 out of 20 so far. We got an hour and 43 minutes left. So, guys, check our Twitter page, click on the link, and you can join the fantasy football contest with us. And Dan, if you could, send it out to, all your groups and stuff like that. You too, Dream.
I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show. We got Andy Jones, Michael Mosca, in Vegas Grill 926. Mac is in the house. We also have Railroad King Shane Whitehead, OJ FB. Good to see you out there, brother. Hope everything's well with you. Terry Bouchard is in the house. Also Jamie Wentz. Papa Bear, what's going on? I know you are happy to hear me on the Cowboy bandwagon, and yes, I am. This is their year. This is their season. Winning Picks is in the house. Spot Bet, Jeff Ryan. It Be Easy's in the house. My boy Irvin, good to see you. Irvin says Triple G won the fight as far as he's concerned. I happen to disagree, but I do see what he's saying. In the end, I really don't have a problem with the draw. I really don't. I don't have a problem with the draw. JDH 24, good to see you out there. Direct Square Solution. Jay Diz in the house as well. Super Mario to the bank. Wayne Yarbarrow, Fast Eddie, and so many more. Primetime cappers out there. Sin City Maverick. Jonesy's in the house. Tiger Clint, Joseph Del Rosario, Frank Vin Colada. Deeks Picks, got to see the shout out to him. My boy Slick Rick Lopez out in the West Coast. BT Game Changer. Philly Picks, Jeff Ryan, Sir Mata, Rob Dog, Buster Carr, Cash Action Bets, Frank Vincolata, Marlon, Jay Goss, Jay Snyder, Jim Romans, the Douche, Chris D, and so many more. Gang, I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day, but you cannot get this time back. And follow me. Get on the bandwagon. Dallas Cowboys. I'm leading the charge, guys. Sorry. It is what it is. Super Bowl. Let's go.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Have a great day. Enjoy your football Sunday and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.